Let's get into everything here. All right, so there's the S&P. We looked at that. We looked at the higher time frame. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's similar. It's lagging a little bit. I do like the fact that it came above this 50 SMA. What would not shock me on the NASDAQ is if we did some drifting just to come fill this gap, let 10 SMA catch up the price before maybe grinding up or even grinding up like that into earnings. Not predicting, just saying that's the thesis until we see a broken uptrend. And we're not going to predict an open uptrend either. XLE. Oil continued to just drift nowhere. I want to keep looking for a trade in that sector. I just personally don't see one. And if I'm willing to miss that, by the way. So I was talking to some guy and another intelligent investor / trader the other day, and we were talking. I was telling him, and very seldomly do I say my opinion. But with that said, my opinion is always based on price. So I said, if the market doesn't fail on Fed Day, and it doesn't fail the day after or the day after, because really it's Fed plus 2 in my opinion. The Fed Day and the next 2 days after are the most important. So if we don't fail, let's call it by Friday's close, okay? And we close somewhere around here, above 2,900, let's call it. I still think that's bullish. And then if we start to see grind back up next week, I still think obviously that would be bullish. So we're looking for what could lead, what could lag. Well, I think oil is still lagging. Can it short squeeze? Yes. But all we really need is either the NASDAQ. We need two things. We either need the transports in the NASDAQ or the banks in the NASDAQ. That's my personal opinion. Or some kind of industrials in the NASDAQ. And you don't necessarily have to have two. It's just what I prefer. I would like to see the NASDAQ in some other sector, whether it's, even if it's small caps, whatever it ends up being, I'd like to see another group of stocks. I would like to see two sectors, so to speak, lead. So the financials, to me, have not been good this year to us. They've been good to us since 2013, since we launched. I don't think they've been great this year to us. You know, you look at some of our stop outs, and I believe a few of them there were in that sector. I think BlackRock, JP Morgan was one, Bank of America was one, an exchange stock CME was one. So, and Goldman Sachs. So that's 4 or 5 of the 20 stocks that were stopped out were in relatively that sector, whether it's, you know, exchange trading companies like CME, ICE, CBOE, or credit card companies, Visa, MasterCard, or even the banking sector directly. Whatever, let's just call it that sector. With that said, it hasn't been a great year for this sector. The NASDAQ has. So this can very much wake up quick. And this is a megaphone pattern. We'll call it an internal one because it wasn't up high. And this could grind to new highs at some point this summer, as crazy as it sounds. So once again, where do I think bonds are going? You already know. I've been bullish bonds a while. Interest rates, I think, will continue to go lower. And I'm not going to make my interpretation on banks with whether they're going to be bullish or bearish based on interest rates. I'm going to only read the tape that the banks tell me with the charts. I'm not smart enough to have the interpretation of anything else. I'm telling you. And either are you. Okay, so with that said, XLF, I think it looks promising. But once again, you're in Fed Day. You don't know how the market's going to react. Ideal, Russell small caps just doing absolutely nothing. Transports is in that bigger wedge. I still think we need, once again, small caps, banks, or transports. Something has to erupt. IBB is waking up a little bit, which is nice. Some stocks in that sector are looking much better. There's our bonds. They just hit new highs right here. That was without MACD. That's bearish divergence. It would not surprise me to come down here and retouch 128 before much higher prices. And I do think bonds go higher after they consolidate. Gold looks fine. Hit new highs with MACD. Could rest a little bit. And I think gold looks higher also.